Even though we have not had Call of Duty Champs or the Esports World Cup, Rostermania has already begun in the CDL. First, we see per CDL Scrim Intel that the Boston Breach are going into the Esports World Cup with a different roster. We have Cammy, Arcides, Purge, and Snoopy. I think it was Jacob Hell who also said that he could see potentially Pentagram instead of Purge, but it seems like it's for sure going to be Snoopy, Arcides, and Cammy as a trio for the Esports World Cup, and then potentially Purge or Pentagram, maybe another SMG for it. I think this is huge because obviously this is a completely different roster, but the main thing that I want to point out, because yes, you have no Beans, you have no Priesta, you have no Major Maniac who was only there for a short period of time. Personally, I think that Beans was their future centerpiece. I think Boston would have been smart to build around Beans, get him 2 sub players, and then maybe a slower AR. Go along with his pace, and then go forward from there. Personally, I'm just not a big believer in Snoopy. I feel like he had that really big breakout moment, no experience, no practice all the year in Modern Warfare 2 Champs, and he was able to come and play competitive against FaZe, but they still got first rounded and were dropped to the losers bracket. So as you can see in the comments below, you got Ben Jason, why is Ben Beans not on this team? And you can see down here, Husker Boy 3, shout out to you, Chris. Their fate in Snoopy needs to be studied. Duplos. I'm not going to say necessarily is the worst. I'm just saying I don't think he is able to play at the CDO level. Talent-wise, maybe, but obviously something's just not clicking. If he has all this gun skill, all of this talent, then how come he's not able to help contribute to his team to win? The main problem I have here is that they built around Snoopy and not around Beans. Beans is a very talented player. He has that takeover superstar ability. You never see Snoopy win you a map. Beans can win you a map. It's even kind of crazy because you can look right here. Priestess says, so I guess I'm a free agent. Beans says down here, same. So it's like they're not even able to communicate that this may be something that's going on. You would think before they even announce a rumor of a potential roster that they would have in the World Cup and then potentially Black Ops 6, that they at least let the players who are there know that they're not going to be a part of the organization any longer. The Priest experiment kind of ended up in a failure, but like I said, Beans is someone who I really think could be a superstar player. So for him to be let go potentially and then not even be taken to the World Cup, that's a big bad thing. I'm not going to show the video, but even right here, according to Trey, aka Zero, he says that his sources are telling him, and other people have said this, that Sensor is now apparently the GM for Boston, kind of making a lot of moves on the roster decisions. Sensor was a very smart player, and he has done really well at developing players when he was playing on the Challengers roster. He has a lot of guys who played with him on that roster who have now earned CDL spots. But if he is the GM and this is the first move that comes out, and then obviously some of the other moves that have come out, who knows how long he's been a part of the organization making these kind of decisions, then that's already a bunch of red flags. You already have a bunch of red flags. And so who knows what Boston's going to do. It seems like they're already setting themselves up for another year of disappointment. Hopefully they can turn things around. Maybe this roster will fry. Maybe Snoopy will prove everybody wrong. I'd be okay with that. I would admit I was wrong. But right now it's looking like keeping him instead of Beans was the wrong decision. More Rostermania news that we got today is that the Ravens have released Clayster. So this confirms that he will not be in the Esports World Cup under the Royal Ravens. He is going ahead and being a free agent. This one really stings because Clayster is one of my all-time favorite players. I really believe that he is a legend. I loved watching him play since his early days, and to see him now having to go pretty much like a journeyman, team to team to team. I feel like that if he was given a chance by a bigger organization to kind of take that accuracy level role, be able to play on a team with a bunch of young guys, not just a bunch of other old players. TJ and Fellow, I like them as well. I like old players. Gwen was the only guy who was young, and Gwen played at a high level, so who knows how much Clayster might have contributed to him in that aspect. We even see here on their post an icon of the scene and driving force behind our season. When I read that, I immediately think that impact he's had on Gwen and maybe helping him develop and get adjusted to the league. He's obviously going to be Rookie of the Year. So when he's had that kind of impact, you can't just let him go before the tournament, and then they're going to let him go before the World Cup. I understand they didn't make champs. They didn't really have good online stages, but I mean, come on. I feel like if there was one person to stay loyal to while keeping Gwen, it probably is Clayster. We'll see what the Ravens World Cup roster is. They've confirmed that they're going to be competing in it, but Clayster is going to be a free agent. He also says he's a free agent for the Esports World Cup, which means he can still sign with a team prior to this cup and play under their organization and then potentially stay with that organization for Black Ops 6. He says right here, got to be more selfish and play better if I want to keep my spot on teams. I think he's been playing very selflessly, helping other teammates step up. We saw that on Vegas. A lot of his teammates were playing very well. We saw that this year. Gwen is a Rookie of the Year. good adjustment to the league. So you wonder if Clayster was taking a step back, helping these guys develop, but now it's hurting his stock. So maybe he's thinking, I got to play more like a champion. I got to play more individually for myself to help me earn my spots. I kind of see that as a jab because I think that that's something that a lot of people have been saying is a problem in the league these days, is that people are playing for stats. They're trying to play for taking care of themselves, not ultimately trying to win. Placer's been trying to play to win, and it just really hasn't been working out. But there's a lot of other players who play for the kills, play for the stats, not trying to win, but just to ensure that they have a roster spot for the next season. Who knows? Maybe I'm looking into it too much, but it really is sad to see Clayster be dropped once again. And I really hope he can have one more season so he can kind of have that hoorah and big send-off from the Call of Duty community. This isn't Rostermania news, but you might have already seen this on Breaking Point. They have announced how somebody has sent Radius TWK from Reddit, has shown how in the Optic team chat, you've got JP, Big Fan is assumed to be Karma, Dashy, Kenny, Pred, and Shotzi. But also in there, you have Accuracy, the Iceman. Accuracy's had a history of helping Kenny and being teammates with him on Team Caliber back in the day. They made it to the World Championship Grand Finals, lost to Aches and his team at Evil Genius, and he's also played with Pred, and Pred has actively said on the one-on-one interview we had with Skunk, Accuracy was so impactful on him adjusting into the CDL and so helpful for him to become the player that he is. So obviously they both should have a lot of respect for Accuracy, and then a lot of people in the scene probably do because of just how intelligent he is, how good of a teammate he is. So for him to be in the Optic team chat, I guarantee you he's there with one purpose, to try to help them figure out some of these issues. Hopefully Accuracy can help this team out and be able to help them with their S&D. That's one of the things they've struggled with the most. They're trying their best to make a big comeback so that they don't get first rounded at champs and can make the best run they can for a championship. Like I said in previous videos, I think this team is capable of winning the Call of Duty championship still. They just have so much firepower and talent that if they can get it to click, even if it's the day before champs, they have what it takes to win it all. Can they figure out what their issues are? Hopefully Accuracy can help them. We will find out. That's it for our Call of Duty updates. Hope you guys enjoyed. We got more Rostermania videos coming this year, already starting even before the World Championship because of all the things with the Esports World Cup. So make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay notified on all the things that are going on and to hear my take on everything that's happening. Leave a like on the video and subscribe for more. Make sure to check out my most recent video right here. You can click it and check it out. Thank you guys for the support, and I'll see you in the next video.